was Diana. It was Diana.
Diana.
All right. Good, good. All right. So as far as injuries, Khalil and Allen Robinson are in the same deal here. They're going to be day to day. 84 Broniker, he's still in the protocol. 88 Deion Sims does have a concussion. 98 Bilal should be back this week, and then 18 Taylor Gabriel had some knee soreness, which we talked about last night, and he should be good to go. That's the injury side. As far as the game goes, going back and watching it, defensively, I thought it was great to see the takeaways and the touchdowns. 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. Opportunistic football, guys flying around, tipping balls in the air, extra effort plays, I thought. And I was looking for, it wasn't one or two individuals that stood out in the game defensively, but it was everybody. It was all 11 on that side of the ball. You got guys on defense, defensive line, getting pressure, collapsing the pocket, getting their hands up. I thought 91, Eddie Goldman had a heck of a game. I thought he was sneaky good yesterday. Linebackers collectively between the two of them with Danny and Roquan, I thought both of them was probably their best game of the year, flying around, making tackles. And then the DBs speak for themselves. They made plays, they tackled, they were flying around. Again, I use the word opportunistic is the best way to use it with them. And then, again, just a play such as at the end of the game when Amos made a play in the end zone on a jump ball to Benjamin. He knocked the ball out. It was just an effort play where a bigger guy made a nice catch, and then he knocked it out with the play. So that was good. Too many penalties. 14 penalties is too many. Some of them were selfish penalties, which we got to eliminate. We've had a few of those recently. Other ones were just guys playing hard and unfortunate. So we do need to eliminate those. Offensively, I mentioned yesterday as far as with our offense and Mitchell, he did have 3 big third down plays, which is against that defense. I made a comment yesterday. That defense is really good. That defense we played is solid. They play fast. They're aggressive. The top 5 defense that we played. And so we knew going into a third down we had to be efficient. We were at the start, and then we ended up going 3 of 11, which isn't good enough. And then too many penalties as well. We had, I think, several false starts, which sometimes can happen on the road. That's the benefit of having a loud crowd, but we got to eliminate that. But all in all, anytime you go on the road and you come away with a 41-9 victory, it's good. Special teams was the last phase, and exactly what I thought. Field position was awesome. We had them down inside the 5 a few times. Cody was 2 for 2 with field goals, 5 for 5 with extra points, and that's a great day right there. So got to grow.
To what did you attribute Mitch's interception there in the second?
Sailed. It literally just sailed on him. First thing he said when he walked off the sideline, that one just got away from me. It sailed. So, you know, that was one that you wish he had back. He wishes he had back, but that's a part of football.
How do you bring him back to center on something like that, just in terms of a coaching point? What do you see from
next play?
Okay.
Next play. I try to keep it as simple as I can with him. Next play mentality, and you know that's again, sometimes that happens, and he's learning as we go.
Is it any tougher to evaluate his overall play yesterday? And it's just kind of a weird game that he only threw the ball 20 times. A lot of it was kind of garbage time. How do you look at all that, especially in the second half?
Yeah, I honestly, I'll tell you this, and I said this to him on the bench. He's a competitive kid, and I could see you get that feeling. 46 plays, and we never got in a rhythm offensively. Some of that was by the game, how the game went. But I just told him to look up at the scoreboard. That's the only thing that matters. 41 points. We won. And that's all I care about. So you have games where you don't always get in a rhythm. It was a weird game offensively for us for just different reasons. But in the end, ultimately, we'll pull out some plays where we feel like we could have been better. We'll pull out the good plays, and we're moving on to Detroit.
The third and long, the 3rd and 15 throw to Trey, What kind of allowed that play to materialize, and what did you like the way Mitch handled it?
Well, that was the best throw of the game for him. He had some guys in his face. That was an all-arm throw. There was he just completely used his arm and wrist and made a hell of a accurate throw with guys in his face, and just it was beautiful accuracy. So, you know, that's what he can do. And as we grow in this offense, he'll make more and more of those throws. But that was a big play. Ended up of the 3 third downs I keep talking about, 2 of them were punts. We ended up punting the ball. That was one where we ended up getting a touchdown.
What went into the decision to call that play? Because you're in field goal range, you could have maybe decided to do something more conservative, but to give him the option to have that throw there.
Just that play for us just has different answers versus different coverages. So I'm not sure whether or not Sean was going to blitz there, bring the house, try to get us out of field goal range, or play a cover 2 shell type look, or just play 1 high zone, which is what he did. So it just kind of has answers. We know the play well, and that one there, I just was that was one of the ones that stands out for sure in that game.
On the pass interference penalties, I think you said, gosh, all the way in training camp that the placement of those balls can help lead to those PIs. What did you think?
Yeah.
Placement on those throws by
Yeah, he was so the first one at the start of the third quarter, I loved it. He chucked it, put it deep, and Taylor's got a lot of speed, and you can see Philip Gaines just jumped on top of him and was going to take the penalty. So love that. The second one to Anthony, we thought they might be bringing it just in that situation. So he wanted to give him a chance, and it was slightly underthrown, but sometimes those are the best ones. And I thought Anthony did a great job at trying to fight to get back to it, and inevitably that's why the DPI was called.
We just found out that you guys got flexed to that,
Yeah.
in that game. You're going to then play midday on the
Yeah.
Thursday. What is that challenge going to be? And did they ask? I mean, did the organization remind them of the schedule?
Yeah, I don't know. I just found out myself too. So that's a part of, you know. So when we first got here, we talked about how fortunate we were. I'm talking about myself with the team. How fortunate we were to have 2 primetime games to start the year, and they don't come easily. The goal as we go is to be able to have a lot of those throughout the season. That means you're doing well. So to be flexed for that game, a division game, should be exciting to our team and our players. Now, that's a night game, and then you go into a short week, and not only a short week, which is a Thursday game, but a short week, which is a 12:30 game in Detroit. So that's a super tight schedule there for us, but we can't worry about that. We'll focus in on what we have this week, and then as that time goes, we'll arrange the schedule and make sure we take care of our guys.
And on the 3rd and 5 sack fumble, what did you think of Mitch's options as he hit the top of his drop there?
Yeah, no, he didn't have much. He didn't have much, so he did the right thing. The only thing we tell him there is just ball security. Yeah, 2 hands on the ball, and then what I liked was Eric Cush there jumping on that ball so that we were able to get that ball back.
You did a double take. It seemed like when I saw 39 on offense. What led to Eddie Jackson being out there for that play?
Just a little fun. You know, we'll see where it goes. But I know one thing: he was excited as hell when he found out he was going in there.
The third and 7 completion to Miller on the first drive, where Mitch kind of gets outside of the pocket.
Yep.
Did he identify? It looked like there were 2 defenders near Bellamy. Did he identify that those guys were crashing in on him, and then he was able to make that throw to Anthony?
Yeah, no, he just stayed within the progression of the play. Yep, they gave us a particular coverage, and he kind of slid in the pocket, stepped up, and Anthony shut down his route a little bit, and Mitch made a great throw. Anthony made a strong catch with his hands and got hit from behind. But no, that was a good play. They stayed within the progression there.
Is that something that opposing defenses now have to respect Mitch's running ability so much that he is able to go out and make those throws?
For sure. Yeah, you have to now. He's shown that. I think he's the 2nd leading rusher by a quarterback in the league behind Cam Newton right now. And these aren't design plays. These are just an added weapon for him within a pass game. Go ahead.
You were so careful with your starters in the preseason. How do you know when to pull Mitch in a situation, a blowout like that? How tough of a call is that?
Sometimes there's a feel to it. It depends. You know, yesterday, just for whatever reason, it never really. The only time it really crossed my mind was towards the end. You know, we just. it's just a catch-22. You can always be, oh, you're too conservative, or you're too this, you're too that. So there is a balance to it, but I just went with my gut.
And on the flip side of that is, do you see a benefit even in a blowout of him just being aggressive, throwing the ball downfield and trying to make plays? I mean, is there, besides, obviously you already won the game, do you feel, is that part of the progression of Mitch?
Yeah, if that's what we're trying to call, and that's what we're drilling to these guys: aggressive, 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 finish, finish, finish. If we don't do that as coaches, then what are we teaching?
Matt,
There's a play late, I think it was in the fourth quarter, where Bellamy looked like he came open towards the end zone, and I know Mitch was under pressure, kind of rolling out to his right. Did he throw that away, or was it just not on target?
I'm trying to think.
Third and 9. He was pressured from the blind side and rolled right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. They that was right after I called the timeout. No, they pressured us there, and we only had one hot answer on that play, and it came from that side, and they called a good defense there. So he was scrambling away, and for him, we just didn't. He was just basically trying to throw the ball away. I think when you watch it, he popped open just after the ball was released. I think Mitch was caught in between a throwaway and he's open, one of those type of deals. So once the ball landed, Bellamy looked, oh shoot, maybe he was wide open, but I think it was right in that gray area.
For Mitch to throw on the run there, he doesn't really set his feet and he just lets it go.
Yeah.
Can he set his feet, or is he just the pressure just
No, I think
gets him out of the
his
play?
clock was ticking. And he knew, don't take a sack, don't even risk it. A throwaway does not hurt us.
There's another third down in plus territory right before the short field goal. It was a throw to Anthony on a slant where he kind of came underneath two other guys. What did you think of the timing of that play? He ended up being tackled like 2 yards short of the.
Yeah, no, I thought they were fine. Yeah, I yesterday, as far as the plays, I mean, we threw the ball 20 times. The plays that we had, for the most part, the ball was out on time. I mean, that's a good defensive line. 55 Hughes and 57 Alexander and 90. They're good in one-on-one battles, and so there were some times where we went scat protection, and our tackles are on an island, and they did pretty well. Other times we helped out, but there wasn't really any plays where I felt too concerned, other than the one that sailed from them.
Yeah,
And
wait,
the fumble return.
on Aaron Lynch's sack celebration?
Yeah, I mean, he came off the sideline. First thing he said to me is, "My bad." He knows he shouldn't have done that. And again, we're a team right now. We're having a little bit of a success. Yesterday, defensively, we were playing really well. We got to learn that. Now, fortunately for us in that situation, the score was there was a difference there in score.
Flag too.
Huh?
There was another flag.
That's right. There was another flag, so it's a double whammy. But what I'm getting to is that these are these penalties right now that we can't have as we go forward, and that's going to be one of the messages I have to our guys: is this isn't about me. This is about we, and they got to know that, and they got to feel it, and they got to learn from it. So that's the that's the last one he's going to have. He's not going to have another one. If he does, I'll be talking to him.
What do you think about all these divisional games being jammed into the second half now that you guys are actually here?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, it's unique, just like it was playing the four AFC teams we just played from the same division. But it is what it is. It's the fact that these are now, we put ourselves in a good position, but no one's going to be looking past Detroit.
How aware are you of the divisional struggles over the last 5 or 6 years or whatever it's been, and how much will that be emphasized?
Yeah, I really I'm aware. I understand. But that's the thing with us and with where we're going, is we try not to get to the past, and we really don't. We're in such a good place right now as an organization. The vibe that we have, we're learning how to win in different ways. We've learned what losing's about and how you respond from that. But we're trying to really just create our own culture and create our own history. And it's week by week. It's practice by practice. This past week was the 4 straight days we had: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Saturday being a walkthrough. By far the best week of practice we had. And that just goes to show to the players that when you hone in and you prepare and you focus with the limited amount of reps that we get in practice, that you translate it to the field, good things happen.
What'd you make of?
Go ahead.
when you're 5-3 at the halfway point, what's your philosophy on using just the playoffs as
Never.
a motivation or any kind
Never hear that from me. You never hear the word playoffs from me,
Why is that?
because we're worried about week 9. That's it.
Matt,
We worry about playoffs, and we're worrying about the wrong thing. A lot of season left.
with Charles Leno yesterday, what did you make of kind of the struggles he had in that little sequence? Because it's a
Yeah.
characteristic considering the first kind
Sure,
of
sure. Yeah, that was a tough stretch for him. He knows that. He felt bad during the game. He felt bad after the game. But I'm not concerned at all. Charles has done wonders for us at that left tackle position, run and pass game. He's a leader. I have no concerns with him. It's just one of those games where he had a couple false starts, and he knows it hurts us. We can't have those penalties, and he'll fix that.
You mentioned your,
Return touchdown, what did you like about the part Roquan played to force that fumble?
Yeah, well, he was the reason. You know, Eddie came over, made a good tackle, held him up, and then Roquan came out of nowhere and just popped it loose, and then Eddie finished it by picking it up and running for the score. So yesterday, Roquan was all over the place, and he had a bunch of tackles, but you just see the energy. He flies around. He's very instinctual, and it's what we saw at Georgia. You know, that's one of the reasons why we drafted him, is because we knew that whether it's covering a running back like LaShawn McCoy in the flat, or whether it's covering a tight end in the flat, like they have some bigger guys, he can do both of those.
What does it indicate to you when you see so many guys, the second player to arrive at the ball is the one making the play, whether it's Amos or Floyd or Roquan there or Cush, that you have guys that are at the ball and still making
Yeah, that's a coaching emphasis. Sat in some meetings in training camp, and that was one of the big coaching points of few meetings that I sat in. That was one of them, is they talk about rallying to the ball. And a lot of times it's that second guy, or if it's the guy trailing from behind, that's the guy that punches it out. So that's the beauty of what we have going on right now, is our players are listening to our coaches, and our coaches are reaching our players. And so then they execute it on the field. You put it on tape, then you come back in here on Tuesday or Wednesday with them, and you show them, and it's like a fire. It just keeps growing more and more, and it keeps building. And it's right now defensively, numbers wise, we got a lot of good numbers going on, and it's contagious, and it affects the offense, the defense, and the special teams.
We're contractually obligated to ask about Adam Shaheen every week.
Yeah.
Is he going to come back Wednesday? And what role does the injuries to your other tight ends play in that?
Yeah. Well, the other roles with the other tight ends doesn't have anything to do with Adam, but he is. It's what I said. He's getting very close. That's with Shaheen. He's getting very close. So keep an eye on him this week and see where he's at. But I feel good with where he's at, and I think he's getting close.
Will he be out there Wednesday?
Possibility.
When
Possibility.
When Tariq gets the ball in his hands, the play doesn't always go like it's drawn up. Does a lot of ad-libbing. How much more aware do the players on the field have to be that, the play's going to the left, but he might be right back behind me?
Yeah, they need to know that, because he's good at doing that. And even Mitch yesterday, he saw he was getting ready. He was in between trying to figure out, should I do this or shouldn't I? And he made the right decision. Do not do that and blow your shoulder out. And so it was smart to just get in the guy's way. But that's what Tariq has. He's electrifying when he gets the ball. Didn't have a whole bunch of touches yesterday, but he's a huge part of this offense. And then you saw the too with the punt return, same thing. So that's what he can do. Our guys got to know that.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you guys. See you.